The spotlight of the Champions League's opening round falls on a blockbuster reunion, Bayern Munich versus Chelsea, a clash that instantly evokes memories of that unforgettable 2012 final at the Allianz Arena. Now, Vincent Kompany's Bayern charge into this battle in red-hot form, while Chelsea arrive unbeaten, though their Premier League campaign has already seen them stumble twice with frustrating London derby draws. This season, Bayern have burst out of the gates with 5 straight wins, already pocketing the German Super Cup and smashing Hamburg 5-0 at the weekend to extend their flawless Bundesliga run. Last year, they couldn't break into the top 8 during the league phase, but they never lost at home. In fact, the Bavarians are on an astonishing 34-game unbeaten streak in the Champions League group stage at the Allianz Arena. Their last home defeat in this phase? You have to go all the way back to December 2013, ironically when a young Vincent Kompany was still on the Manchester City bench in a 3-2 win in Bavaria. The stats don't stop there. Bayern have won their opening Champions League match for 22 consecutive seasons. The last time they failed to do so was way back in 2002 against Deportivo La Coruña. Throughout the entire 21st century, Bayern have been an immovable fixture in Europe's elite competition. Chelsea, on the other hand, return after a 2-year absence. But they didn't spend that time idling. Last season, they lifted the Conference League after beating Real Betis, becoming the first club ever to complete UEFA's full set of trophies: the Champions League, Europa League, Super Cup, and Conference League. Their ticket back to the Champions League was only secured on the very last day of the Premier League when they beat Nottingham Forest to finish inside the top 5. They arrived not just as European returnees, but also as the reigning Club World Cup champions. Yet, Enzo Maresca's side have already shown signs of stuttering. Their latest stumble came in a 2-2 draw against Brentford, undone by one of the Bees' trademark long throws. Chelsea will forever cherish that magical night in Munich in 2012. But since then, the tide has turned. Bayern have beaten them 3 times in a row, including a brutal 7-1 aggregate demolition in the 2019-20 round of 16. The numbers heading into this showdown lean heavily Bayern's way. Chelsea have lost 6 of their 10 encounters with the German giants in Europe. That's their worst record against any club they've faced at least 5 times. At the Allianz, Bayern have been almost untouchable against English opposition. In their last 11 Champions League home games against Premier League sides, they've won 8, drawn 2, and lost just once, to Klopp's Liverpool back in 2019. Along the way, they've dispatched Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham, and yes, Chelsea themselves. For Chelsea, this marks their first Champions League night since May 2023. They've won 12 of their last 13 European fixtures, a record that underlines their pedigree. But when it comes to the group stage, Bayern are masters of the craft. Since the second group phase was scrapped in 2003, they've won 93 out of 128 games, a remarkable 73% win rate. The message is clear. If Chelsea want to take anything away from the Allianz Arena, they'll need nothing short of perfection. Bayern Munich head into this heavyweight clash, carrying some notable absences in both midfield and defense. Jamal Musiala, once a bright talent at Chelsea's academy, is still sidelined after suffering a brutal leg and ankle injury at the Club World Cup. His return to the Allianz against his former club will have to wait. At the back, Hiroki Ito and Alphonso Davies are both out with injuries, while Rafael Guerreiro's situation adds further complication. The Portuguese fullback was brought on in the second half of the win over Hamburg, but lasted only 17 minutes before limping off, leaving Vincent Kompany with a serious left-back headache. Up front, Nicolas Jackson is technically eligible to face his parent club, but there's little chance he dislodges Harry Kane from the starting Al-Nassr. Meanwhile, Luis Diaz looks untouchable on the left wing after scoring in each of his first 3 Bundesliga appearances. Chelsea also arrive far from full strength. Cole Palmer, in sparkling form, is expected to start after coming off the bench to score in the weekend draw with Brentford. But the Blues will again be without Liam Delap, who's nursing a hamstring injury, while Benoit Badiashile and Romeo Lavia remain unavailable. Dario Isugo is sidelined with a thigh problem, and Mykhailo Mudryk is suspended. Youngster Estevão Willian still needs a fitness check after shaking off illness, while Facundo Buonanotte isn't registered for the league phase. João Pedro isn't fully fit either. He even asked to sit out last weekend, but still managed to make his mark, notching his 5th Premier League goal of the season. Only Eden Hazard has ever hit that milestone faster in Chelsea colours. Tactically, both Bayern and Chelsea look set to line up in a 4-2-3-1, and the projected lineups already reveal the manager's intentions. For Bayern, Manuel Neuer is almost certain to stand between the posts. His composure and wealth of experience remain the foundation of Bayern's defense. Kompany is likely to turn to Konrad Laimer on the right and Josip Stanisic on the left to plug the gaps left by Guerrero and Davies. At center-back, the pairing of Dayot Upamecano and Jonathan Tah brings strength, speed, and aerial dominance, exactly what's needed for a high-stakes European night. In midfield, Bayern will lean on Joshua Kimmich's brain and Aleksandar Pavlovic's energy, a balance of experience and youth designed to control possession while keeping the pressure on. Michael Olise provides flair and unpredictability on the right. Serge Gnabry offers versatility as the playmaker in the hole, and Luis Diaz remains the in-form threat down the left. And leading the line, of course, is Harry Kane, the complete striker, equally capable of holding up play or delivering the killer blow when the chance comes. On Chelsea's side, Enzo Maresca is also expected to go for balance, solidity at the back mixed with creativity further upfield. Robert Sanchez keeps his place as the number 1 in goal. The back 4 likely sees Reece James and Marc Cucurella locking down the flanks, with Wesley Fofana and Trevoh Chalobah paired at center-back to absorb Bayern's attacking pressure. In midfield, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo form the engine room, tasked with controlling the tempo while shielding the defense. Higher up, Pedro Neto could get the nod on the right, stretching Bayern's back line. Cole Palmer is the creative hub, the conductor pulling the strings, while Alejandro Garnacho brings pace and audacity down the left, taking over from Jamie Bino Gittins, who has looked out of sync so far. Leading the line is João Pedro, in sharp form and ready to punish any lapse in Bayern's defense with cold precision. All of this sets the stage for a tense, finely balanced showdown. Both teams have depth, both have match winners capable of tilting the game in a heartbeat. And then there's Nicolas Jackson, the subplot that nobody can ignore. Signed, given a chance, loaned to Bayern, then recalled when Liam Delap got injured, only for Chelsea to reverse course yet again and let him return to Germany. Just over 2 weeks since leaving Stamford Bridge, Jackson is already preparing to face his parent club. In his unveiling at Bayern's Sabenerstrasse training center, the striker grinned as he spoke about the reunion. "We're playing against Chelsea and lots of friends on Wednesday," he said. "I'm looking forward to seeing them again and want to win the game." No bitterness in his words, but enough intent to remind Chelsea fans that if he gets the chance, he will not hesitate to put the ball in their net. This Bayern attack is unlike anything we've seen before, an almost Premier League-flavored front line. Luis Diaz, Serge Gnabry, Harry Kane, Michael Olise, and now Nicolas Jackson. All of them shaped by England's top flight, all of them accustomed to its pace, pressure, and physicality. Kane, the Spurs legend and perennial Golden Boot contender. Gnabry, who once struggled at Arsenal and West Brom before reinventing himself back home. Luis Diaz, electric in Liverpool red. Olise, nurtured at Reading and unleashed at Crystal Palace. And Jackson, fresh off a breakout season with Chelsea before swapping London for Bavaria. That shared experience makes Kompany's men instantly adaptable, comfortable with the intensity Chelsea will try to bring, and against a club that many of them know all too well, Bayern's Premier League-hardened forward line could be the difference. So the Allianz Arena isn't just hosting a Champions League opener. It's a mirror reflecting two clubs' choices and ambitions. For Bayern, it's Kompany's chance to prove his project can stand tall in Europe, powered by a strike force tailor-made for nights like this. For Chelsea, it's a test of character, a measure of how resilient Maresca's side really is when the stakes rise. And at the heart of it all is Nicolas Jackson, the man who's lived through a whirlwind summer of stay, go, and come back again. If this match produces a decisive moment, don't be surprised if it's Jackson who delivers it. Because sometimes football writes its best drama through the journeys of its players.